Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-day, my oh my, it is Thursday, and we just have a couple of hours of spring to go. The first day of summer is almost here. The summer solstice is at 1:50 this afternoon. This is the earliest summer solstice in over 200 years. We have the tilt of the Earth's axis to thank for that, and the fact that we had a leap day this year, so it's actually on June 20th, which by golly is today. This is the longest day of the year, 15 hours, 57 minutes, and 32 seconds. We went right down to the second there. Tomorrow, June 21st, will be 2 seconds shorter than today. Just thought we'd be precise on that. And it's going to be just a drop-dead gorgeous day. It was a nice day yesterday, topped off at, what did we get to, 79, which was exactly normal. We'll be a little bit warmer than that today, and I think we can call it hot. On Friday and Saturday, cool down. On Sunday, forecast details are coming up, but the weather is looking mighty fine indeed. We will have some news to get to, a lot of news as a matter of fact. 2 days ago, the Mariners won and the Apple Sox lost. Yesterday, we reversed that. The Apple Sox won. They beat Yakima Valley, but the Mariners, as you probably know by now, got shut out by the Guardians. Highlights of Mariner baseball when we get to sports. It is Thursday. Pause for Pets will be coming your way. Brother and sister dog duo, and they come as a team. Needs a permanent home. We'll introduce you to Kiera and Kovu when we get to Pause for Pets. And because it is the summer solstice, we talk with Bonnie Orr, our gardening expert. Your do's and don'ts for yard, garden, vegetables, flowers, plants, whatever. Bonnie Orr is the expert. We visited with Bonnie up at the Community Education Garden at the intersection of Springfield and Western Avenue, and we will get you going. Summertime gardening tips with Bonnie. In the back half of the program, let's start our tour. And when we have mornings like this, it's hard to just lock down on 4 cameras, so maybe we should do like 12 cameras and not do the rest of the show. From our Wenatchee Heights camera, we look at the Columbia River, which is very high on its banks, as it normally is this time of the year. There's still a little bit of snow at the summit of Mission Ridge. Not much. It'll probably be gone by the time this week is out. Good morning to East Wenatchee, getting the bulk of the love today from our Wenatchee Heights camera. Camera number 2 is up to Greens Knob. We're heading on up to Lake Chelan, heading up towards the Pioneer Fire, which continues to burn and will continue to burn for the not foreseeable future. I mean, it's thank goodness it's really a remote fire, not threatening any homes or anything like that, but it's gonna be cooking for a while. It's gonna make the make the sky around there a tad hazy from our Greens Knob camera, heading up towards Tehican. Speaking of Lake Chelan, our Union Valley camera, it looks good. Look at those orchards. They are looking good indeed. Union Valley on the north shore of Lake Chelan, again pointing up towards the Pioneer Fire. I think you can see a little bit of smoke way off into the distance. And a little closer to home, to Badger Mountain we go. We like this view. This is kind of a cool view. That's the old Alcoa Wenatchee Works you see down in the lower part of your screen as we look out towards the Columbia River on our way out to Palisades and Crescent Bar and Rock Island. You can see the Clockham clear as a bell. Just a few high clouds out over the Quincy Moses Lake area and the basin outside of that. Cool view from our Badger Mountain camera. I like that one indeed. There is some concern about the wind on Sunday. Now, we are going to see some wind gusts here in the Wenatchee Valley because a dry cold front is going to come in on Sunday. It means elevated fire weather concerns. It's going to be breezy, but not really windy, and it's going to be very late in the day. Most of Sunday, if you have outdoor plans, it's going to be cooler than Saturday. It's going to be almost pleasant. The wind that we're talking about is going to be very late in the afternoon into the early evening hours. So most of Sunday is going to be calm, but once we get to about 6 or 7 o'clock on Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening is when the wind will be picking up as this cold front comes down. It's also going to cool us down back to normal temperatures by Monday. Unfortunately, it is a dry cold front, so the relative humidity is going to go way down, about 21% relative humidity in the Wenatchee Valley on Sunday. That's bone dry. From the National Weather Service, here we go. Our last day of spring, well, for the most part anyway. High of 85 today, with lots of sunshine, very little wind. It's going to be beautiful. Clear tonight, 61 for the overnight low. We have not hit 90 degrees, and wouldn't you know it, for the first time tomorrow on the first full day of summer, we're going to get to 90 for the first time this year. But lots of sunshine, very little wind, and mild overnight low 64. Saturday, there is a lot of activity going on Saturday. We'll see a few clouds, but mostly sunny skies and a high of 92. All kinds of activities going on Saturday all over the Wenatchee Valley, and looks like Mother Nature is going to cooperate there. We wrap up Sunday again with cooler temperatures, the high of 83. The wind expected on Sunday is not going to come until again, late in the afternoon, early in the evening on Sunday. So Sunday just looks beautiful. And of course, it's going to cool us down a little bit, back to more normal temperatures on Monday. And then we bounce back up on Tuesday and Wednesday. Absolutely zero rain in the forecast. This drought, which is a tad troubling, continues unabated. That's the weather. When we come back, the news. You're watching a Thursday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel. The family at the Eppladahlin want to help your loved one feel at ease in their new home environment. Eppladahlin offers beautiful one-bedroom and studio apartments. Residents enjoy 3 delicious home-style meals a day, laundry service, housekeeping service, and encouragement to make themselves cozy in their new home. Eppladahlin welcomes your family to come and visit their family. Eppladahlin, independent and assisted living. They make the complicated easy for you. Call today for a tour.
There's no place like home, because home is where we're totally comfortable. It's where we can be ourselves and let our guards down. It's where we make memories, and we're always imagining new ways to keep it totally comfortable. Carrier, total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air.
Apple Sox fans, get ready for baseball. The Apple Sox are getting ready to host their longest homestand of the season with 6 games in as many days from June 21st to 26th. Don't miss out on special event days such as Bark in the Park Night on Sunday, $2 off Tuesday, and Wenatchee Wednesday. Tickets are available online now at applesox.com/schedule. Wenatchee Apple Sox Baseball, celebrating summer 1 inning at a time.
It's a beautiful morning, as the Rascals once sang. 59 degrees, will be up to the mid-80s. For our afternoon high, lower 90s on Friday and Saturday. We cool down with a little bit of late afternoon wind on Sunday. It's 8 minutes after the hour. The man suspected of killing East Wenatchee mother Cynthia Ring has been formally charged now with her homicide, and police documents allege he may have confessed to the crime before leaving the scene. 22-year-old Ashton Bunting Jr. was arrested Tuesday in Ohio after allegedly fleeing the Eastmont Avenue apartment where the 28-year-old Ring was found dead back on Tuesday, June 11th, with her 4-year-old child crying inside the apartment. With his arrest, Douglas County prosecutors filed 1 count against Bunting for murder in the 2nd degree. An East Wenatchee police affidavit seeking his arrest says Bunting left notes and whiteboard messages in the apartment, apparently admitting to Ring's murder and expressing regret. Police also say Ring and Bunting were in a long-term relationship, and she told co-workers about prior instances of domestic violence. Bunting remains in police custody in Bowling Green, Ohio. He faces extradition back to Douglas County to be arraigned on the murder charge. Spokane teenager is charged with felony cyber harassment. He allegedly threatened a Wenatchee girl and her family online and by phone. 18-year-old Declan Riley Finch is accused of harassing the 17-year-old victim in online chats and text messages when she tried to end their long-distance relationship. He also allegedly messaged her other family members with intimidating texts, and at one point, according to the Wenatchee Police Department, he spoke with the girl's father by phone and threatened to come to their house with a semi-automatic rifle. He allegedly confirmed making the threats in an interview with police. Chelan County prosecutors charged Finch by summons earlier this month. He is due to be arraigned in Superior Court next week. Congresswoman Kim Schreier will be in Wenatchee today in the noon hour. She'll be hosting a housing roundtable. The purpose of the event to discuss affordable housing and factors that contribute to the high costs of buying a home. in the Wenatchee Valley. Schreier will be joined by local leaders, including Wenatchee City Administrator Laura Gloria, Community Development Director Glenn DeVries, and housing leaders Tom Nees and Rachel Goldie. In a press release, Schreier said she consistently hears about the lack of affordable housing from her constituents in the 8th District. The roundtable will be held at the Wenatchee City Hall Council Chambers beginning at noon today. The estate of fruit industry pioneers Herschel and Betty Sparks, very generous. They've gifted over $4 million to 3 local nonprofits. The Wenatchee Valley College Foundation received $699,000 and $1.7 million goes to both the Saddle Rock Presbyterian Church and the Confluence Health Foundation. After the Sparkses moved to the Wenatchee Valley in 1943, they grew apples and they owned 3 different warehouses. Herschel operated the first controlled atmosphere warehouse in Wenatchee, and Betty took care of the accounting. Herschel passed away in 2009. Betty died in 2011. Their estate gave initial gifts of about $700,000 combined to the Wenatchee Valley College and Confluence Health Foundations, respectively. A joint press release between the foundations says the estate will distribute a third and final gift at a later date. Among all the things going on Saturday in the Wenatchee Valley is the Wenatchee Pride Fest. It is back. It's at Memorial Park. It starts at 11 a.m. Local vendors and performers will be taking to the stage. Last year, the festival saw about 4,000 people show up. I caught up with Wenatchee Pride President Kelsey Riggs to get a preview of Saturday.
People like parties. People like big parties.
They do.
That's what this is, essentially.
Yeah, essentially it's a big party just to celebrate, the LGBTQIA+ community. And we're really fortunate that Wenatchee allows us to put this on and that we have so much support here in our area.
Is the Valley getting it? Are we getting better in that regards? I mean, it wasn't that long ago where this kind of thing wouldn't fly, and now here we are.
I mean, there's definitely more support than there has been in the past. You know, you still have your outliers, though, that really voice their concerns or their discomfort with it. But those voices are getting more and more quiet as time goes on. And, every once in a while there's a really loud one, but everybody, kind of stands up and says, this isn't right, and really just supports us.
I was here last year, as I mentioned before. I didn't see there was not a single problem to be had of anything. It was, you have an overdose of smiles and good times is what I
Right.
saw last year.
Yeah, I mean, that's the general consensus. I mean, there were a few protesters last year. Very, very small. They gave up pretty easy. I think that the amount of people that showed up really kind of overwhelmed them.
That's a nice problem to have.
It is. It's a good problem, yeah.
Tell me about the genesis of all this. I know the city of Wenatchee's been on board from day one. You got the proclamation from the mayor on Thursday. Take me back to the first couple of years when it was like, boy, should we do this? Can we do this? How do we do this?
Yeah, actually, I believe it started in either 2016 or 2017 at a local church. And from there, people came together and they decided they wanted to make it an actual festival, and so we started filling out permits and things like that to get it in parks. I know that 2019 it was at Lincoln Park, but for the majority of our time doing this, it's been here at Memorial Park, and it's just grown and grown and gotten bigger.
And looking at the lineup, and Kelsey said it to me that I didn't get a chance to read it. You got tons of stuff. Let's start out with the performers. There'll be a stage right here.
Yeah.
Built over the top of the Mayor's Fountain, as usual. Entertainment starts at 11 and goes all day, right?
It does. It goes all the way to 9 p.m.
So talk about some of the performers people can see.
Yeah, we have a few return performers. We have drag, so Ludafisk from House of Pisces will be here. Karma Del Rey and Punani Puse will be here. And then we have some bands that are going to be playing, Pizza Party.
Where do you find these acts? Where do you?
We just put out a call for acts, and we say apply, and we kind of review them, and we put them on our lineup if we like them, and luckily majority of them are very, very great.
Is Matt going to be back emceeing again this year?
Yeah, Matthew Pippin will be emceeing again this year. We're actually adding a couple comedians to our lineup too. Some of them are from out of the area, and some of them are from here. But yeah, we have a full day. I know that our first lineup is that the library is going to read a story kind of kick everything off, and then Punani Puse will close the night out.
And beer garden.
Yeah.
You got to have a beer garden.
Right, yeah, we have a great beer garden. We got Icicle Brewing Company donated some beer, and Yonder Cider donated some beer, or cider. And it's going to be a really good time.
So music, entertainment, beer, food, vendors. I think you got it all.
And finally, on this Thursday, in the spirit of Washington's fleet of highway snowplows that have been giving funny names from the Department of Transportation, City of Leavenworth is hopping on board this. Leavenworth has a brand new public works appliance. It's called a Vactor truck. There it is. What does a Vactor truck do? It vacuums sludge and garbage out of sewers and other submerged pipes. And so the city has opened up for suggested names for their big Vactor. Now you can vote. Among the names that you can vote on includes Der Gunkernator, Sir Sucks-a-Lot, and the Waste Warrior. You can find a link, by the way, through the City of Leavenworth's Facebook page. It has come to this. I've now said Sir Sucks-a-Lot on this television program. And that is the news. The news will come your way with Grant and Eric tonight at 5, 6, and 10, 5, 6, and 10 on television. Or you can watch it online anytime you want to. It'll be up and running right around 5 o'clock on all our different World Wide Web devices that we have. We have a homepage, ncwlife.com. We have a YouTube page. We have a Facebook page. We have an Instagram. I don't know if it's a page or not. We have an app. If you haven't downloaded the app, you can do so by clicking on the old QR code there. And don't forget, if there's something out there that needs our attention, or you think it does anyway, send us an email, news@ncwlife.com. Sports is 2 minutes away. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Hey, welcome back to Save Mart. What can we help you find today?
We're looking for a mattress.
Oh, right this way. We got a large selection. We have this pillow top here.
Oh, comfortable.
We have more to choose from down here. Oh. I think I have the perfect one over here for you.
I guess we'll take this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
Hey folks, this is Blueberry Carrie bringing you a public service announcement. With today's fast pace, sometimes you just need to be reminded to just breathe. Come on out to Blueberry Hills and enjoy the panorama of beautiful blueberry fields and these gorgeous North Cascades mountains. Your food is always cooked fresh to order, and our down-home scratch country recipes are always well worth the wait. Our delicious breakfast dips, pies, and pastries await you and your family. So come on out to Blueberry Hills in Manson. It's where the world is coming to.
Headaches, neck or back pain, been injured in a car accident, a work injury, or fall? Studies show that whiplash causes pain year after year. Your neck is supposed to be curved and acts like a spring to absorb shock, but when it's damaged, it straightens or reverses, and this causes headaches and pain. The solution is our specialized comprehensive combination care. You need our team of professionals who will address every point of your injury with very specific equipment and skill. Stop by Wenatchee or Leavenworth for a free consultation.
My name's Nick Dirk, and I've been a cinematographer-photographer for over 10 years. I got my start at the Wenatchee Valley Technical Skills Center. Without the Tech Center, I wouldn't have got my first job in media production 3 months after I graduated high school.
My name is Charlie Voris, and I own Vortex Productions. My work has taken me on exciting adventures all around the world, and I got my start at Wenatchee Valley Tech.
Hey, my name is Ole Mingo, and I'm the Executive Director at Heirloom Creatives in Wenatchee. I am so thankful for Wenatchee Valley Tech to be able to have my dream career.
19 minutes after the hour, Josh Naylor was a one-man wrecking crew. He plays for Cleveland. He homered twice at 4 RBIs. Tanner Bybee struck out a career-high 12 in 6 innings of work. Cleveland shuts out the Mariners 8-0 yesterday in Cleveland.
Josh comes into tonight. He's 6th in the American League with 50 runs batted in. Line drive, base hit, right field. A run will score. Ramirez all the way to third. 1-0 Guardians. Josh Naylor, RBI number 51 on the year.
Well, they are doing it now. There you go. You get that RBI. See if this lifts a little pressure off the rest of this offense now with runners in scoring position. And he left that ball belt high, and Naylor takes advantage of it. And that'll give Quan an opportunity now with 2 outs to add on to this 1-0 game.
Drill deep right field. If it's fair, it's gone. It is off the pole. A 2-out, 2-run homer for King Quan. He stays absolutely red hot at the plate. His 5th home run of the year extends his hitting streak to 13 games. That butterfly right in the middle of that swing. You got to be kidding me.
Looks like a butterfly, stings like a bee.
Right now, he'd be 39 points ahead of Bobby Witt for the batting lead.
There you go.
Off balance throw by Bliss and beats it out. Coming home to score is Jimenez. The run and gun Guardians do it again.
How about stealing a run right there? Just outstanding hustle by Jimenez and Ramirez. When Bliss just coming into the game, he had to make a throw, but he couldn't get it all the way there, so he bounced it twice, and that's all it took.
Josh Naylor, see if Baldwin lays one in there. He's swinging, and it is not coming back. Oh, baby! Another 2-out, 2-run homer makes it a 3-run 5th for the Guardians. Naylor's 18th on the year, and he has driven in 3 on the night. Blast off, 3-0 count. Sometimes a pitcher thinks, well, he's probably not going to swing. I'll just lay one in there, and Josh is laying in the weeds, waiting. Shortstop, and now he's made himself into a center fielder. That versatility. Base hit right field. Bo Naylor brings around Daniel Schneemann. He'll score. And it's 7-0 Guardians. Naylor with his 2nd hit of the night. Boy, it's a good night for Bo. He's got 2 hits.
This guy comes up and hits a 3-0 pitch out of the ballpark to tack on 2 more.
There's a hanging curveball, and it is hit high and deep and gone.
Yeah, he doubled up. And it stayed up on a breaking ball, and he's seeing it well, and he's staying back. Stayed behind that pitch and just drives it to right. So he'll take the team lead now with 19. Give him 4 ribbies.
Josh Naylor, what a night. 4 runs driven in, 2 home runs. The 0-2. Chopped to short. Schneemann. Book it. Guardians are back in the win column. Even the series.
Manager Scott Service got thrown out in the 8th inning. So did J.P. Crawford. Manager Scott Service said Mr. Bybee was on top of his game.
Obviously, Bibby was really good, threw the ball outstanding. We knew coming in to the game it was going to be a tough night there. He's got really good stuff, and he was landing his breaking balls and certainly had a good fastball. This is our first time seeing him, but there's a reason. He's got really good numbers in this league. He's got really good stuff. I think on the other side, getting Brian Wu out there, good to get him back out there. Obviously, the first inning threw about 30 pitches, so we were going to be very guarded with him tonight, no matter how it went. But after the first inning, it was nice to see him bounce back there in the 3rd and 4th. Get us a little bit deeper in the game. But, Story tonight was their starter. He was really good, and he didn't need any extra help, but he got some, and that was not to our advantage. So we'll come back, try to win the series tomorrow. I knew there'd be a little rust. What's concerned anytime a guy doesn't pitch in 12, 13 days, the command is usually the issue at times, and it was a little bit there early on. I thought he got into the 3rd and 4th, started using his sweeper, the breaking balls a little bit to slow them down, and, he'll be fine. He'll take the ball next time around and hopefully be a little bit better.
3-game series wraps up this morning at 10:10. By the way, Luis Castillo will start. He has worked at least 5 innings in all 15 of his starts this year. He's a workhorse. To the Les Schwab scoreboard, the Mariners lead over the Rangers and the Astros are down to 9 games. It's still a pretty good lead. Rangers and the Astros both won, if you see there. Angels lost to the Brewers 2-0, and the Athletics got by the Royals 5-1. Wenatchee Apple Sox scored 3 in the 5th inning and 3 in the 7th to pull away from Yakima Valley last night 6-3. Joel Norman sent us a wrap. I pretty much just told you what it is, so we'll skip by Joel's little wrap and remind you that the Apple Sox and the Pippins wrap up their series tonight, and then they return home Friday for 6 straight home games. We'll have Monday's game, by the way, right here on the NCAA Live channel. And finally, the West Coast League scoreboard. Wenatchee's lead in the WCL North is 3 games over Edmonton, 2 games over Bellingham. Bellingham won, Edmonton lost. Your other winners yesterday, Victoria, Cowlitz, Walla Walla, Springfield, and Ridgefield. And those are just some of the games that people are playing. Your obscure holiday, it's American Eagle Day. Our national bird, or maybe even a national symbol, the eagle. It was Bill Clinton by presidential proclamation. Congress has never actually proclaimed the bald eagle as our national symbol. Is actually not officially our national symbol. It just is. And it makes perfect sense because the bald eagle can only be found in North America. If you like bald eagles and you think they're pretty cool, and I'm one of them, you want to go near a body of water, a river, a lake, a stream, that kind of deal, marshes, the coast, because they primarily eat fish. They'll eat crabs, they'll eat small rodents, but they like their fish. The bald eagle builds the largest nest of any bird in North America. And bald eagles have an excellent sense of taste, but they can't smell anything at all for whatever reason. But you got to admit, the bald eagle is pretty damn impressive. It is American Eagle Day today. Celebrate it with an eagle you love. It's 26 minutes after the hour. Today in history, speaking of the eagle, on June 20th, 1787, 237 years ago today, during the Federal Convention in Philadelphia, Oliver Ellsworth stands up and makes a motion. What should we call our new country? And he said, why don't we call it the United States? We had been informally calling it the United States. He said, why don't we make it official? The Declaration of Independence mentions the United States. The Articles of Confederation mentions the United States, but nobody actually said, why don't we make it official? Oliver Ellsworth gets that honor by making it an official motion at the Federal Convention. There were other names they kicked about. Among the proposed names, the Free States of America, the Independent States of America, Columbia was considered, and interestingly enough, Jerry. Thanks, Oliver. It's time to play Guess the State Flag. This shouldn't be too hard. They took the state seal and threw it on a flag. Happy birthday to West Virginia, who joined the Union during the Civil War in 1863, 161 years ago. It's the Mountain State. The original capital of West Virginia was Wheeling. Then they moved it to Charleston. Then they moved it to Wheeling. And then they moved it back to Charleston. West Virginia's got some problems. They've lost nearly 60,000 residents over the last decade. They've lost 18,000 residents in the last 2 years for 2 reasons. More people are moving out of West Virginia than moving in, and their death rates exceed their birth rates. The average lifespan for a West Virginia resident is 76 years. That's 50th. That's dead last in the nation. The proportion of West Virginia's adult population with a college education is 17%. That's by far the lowest in the country. And it is the only state that has seen an increase in birth rates among teenagers. Hang in there, West Virginia. We hope you have better times coming. Lizzie Borden took an axe and gave her mother 40 whacks, and when she saw what she had done, she gave her father 41. It was actually her stepmother. She didn't like either one of them. In fact, Lizzie Borden's dad was one of the most unpopular people in town. In New Bedford, Massachusetts, she was acquitted of hacking to death her father and stepmother on this date in 1894. It was captured the nation's attention. Lizzie Borden, acquitted, inherited all the money from the estate, bought a big house in New Bedford, still stayed in New Bedford. She was ostracized like OJ. Nobody wanted anything to do with Lizzie Borden. She didn't care. She had all the money in the world. She had servants and cooks and gardeners. She and her sister moved into a big house. Eventually, she and her sister started fighting. Her sister moved out. They never spoke again. Lizzie Borden, acquitted on this date in 1894, and June 20th, 1975. Dun-dun. Dun-dun. Here's the original TV commercial.
None of man's fantasies of evil can compare with the reality of Jaws.
Damn fish, but I'll catch him and kill him.
Did you hear your father? Out of the water now!
This shark, swallow you whole.
From the best-selling novel, Jaws, rated PG, may be too intense for younger children.
I was almost 11 when Jaws came out. Yeah. It's still a damn good movie. It very quickly became the highest grossing motion picture of all time. And it brought in the idea, the concept of the summer blockbuster. Instead of rolling out movies, big market to medium-sized market to small market, over the course of a couple of months, they just released it to thousands of theaters nationwide, June 20th, 1975. And finally, birthdays. Happy 82nd birthday to Brian Wilson, the leader of the Beach Boys. He wrote the material, he produced the material, he arranged the material, performed the material. The guy's a musical genius. When Paul McCartney inducted Brian Wilson into the Songwriters Hall of Fame 25 years ago, he said, Brian Wilson is a true American genius, and Paul was right. Brian Wilson is 82 years old today, and the great John Goodman, 72 years old today. He can do drama and he can do comedy, and he does them both well. Special thanks to our platinum sponsor. That would be Alpine Air. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. You know what the heat's going to come this weekend. It's no secret. Can your air conditioning system handle it? Give Alpine Air a call. Give it once over twice to make sure it works. Alpine Air. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. Special thanks to our friends at Pool to Spa Services, celebrating an anniversary this year. I want to say it's 35 years in business. That's pretty good. You got to know what you're doing if you've been around that long. Pool to Spa Services and our friends at Prestige Senior Living at Colonial Vista. Mike Manotti's got to the pity. We'll talk about summer gardening tips with Bonnie Orr. But first things first, it's Pause for Pets.
Pause for Pets is presented by Alpine Air Heating and Cooling, Mary Maid's Doghouse Brewery, Leavenworth, and Club Crow Bar and Grill.
Hi, I'm Coralie with Wenatchee Valley Humane Society, Animal Care Manager here. And these two pups are Kiara and Kovu, and they are siblings. They're, we think, maybe 4 to 5 months old, but we don't really know because they came to us as strays. They were roaming the streets of Wenatchee together, causing havoc and just having puppy fun. Like most puppies, they're learning all sorts of new things here, and they want to be with their people so much. They are so excited when a volunteer comes in and walks them, or when they get any kind of attention from people. That's their absolute favorite. They like toys too, but they really love it when a person is throwing a toy for them. Yes, yes. They want to learn so much, so bad. Oh, you're licking my hand, so good. They're German Shepherd mix, we think, but they're beautiful. Yes, and they have, it's hard to tell here, but they each have one floppy ear. He said it's hard to tell you guys apart. Yeah, like you're so good. They love going on walks, and they love fetch, and they just love anything to do with people, really. We've had them for too long. We don't like to have puppies too long because, you know, it's kind of a scary place, all the noise, all the dogs here. And we've had them for about 2 weeks now, so they really need homes. Because they came to us as strays, we don't have any information on if they're good with cats, but they do seem to love our dogs here. So I think they'd probably be good with your dog. And, oh, and they do not have to be adopted together. They're not bonded. They love playing with each other, but they don't have to go together. They just each need a home. So if you'd like to come and meet them, we are open Thursday through Tuesday, 12:30 to 6:30, and we would love to introduce you.
Give them a call at 509-662-9577 or visit their website at wenatcheehumane.org. Pause for Pets is presented by Alpine Air Heating and Cooling, Mary Maid's Doghouse Brewery, Leavenworth, and Club Crow Bar and Grill.
When it comes to plumbing, you are likely not the expert. Call After Hours Plumbing. When your laundry room is just a little too tight and you need to expand or remodel, call After Hours Plumbing. Or your hot water heater needs replacing so everyone can have hot water? Call After Hours Plumbing, your local plumbing contractor ready for your home remodels or your commercial business.
celebrate this great country of ours at Rockfest in Rock Island, June 29th. 4 rockin' bands start at 1 o'clock on the stage at the golf course until the fireworks begin. So bring your chairs, pack a picnic, or enjoy one of the many on-site food vendors. Link will be offering a free shuttle to the golf course from downtown Rock Island. Rockfest, the last Saturday in June. Find them on Facebook. And thanks to Rockfest 2024 supporters John Port at Real Homes and the Town Toyota Center.
Let nothing stand between you and the tree stand with this great offer on the fast, durable Kubota Sidekick. Featuring a gas-powered engine that delivers a top speed of 40 miles per hour, outstanding acceleration and handling with cargo, and a 2-year, 1,000-hour warranty. Get the Sidekick now for 0 down, 0% APR for 36 months or save $1,000.
Imagine a science project being done on the kitchen table. Feel the excitement on Christmas morning as the kids race down the stairs to form memories that cannot be erased. Listen for the laughter coming from the next room. Put your family in a new home to make these visions become reality with Coldwell Banker Cascade. Use the Move Meter entering 2 cities and see how a potential move scores based on the cost of living and other factors. Make your dream place a reality with Coldwell Banker Cascade today.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, have you ever wondered why evangelical folks are so opposed to and condemning of our queer community? Well, there's a number of reasons for that, but an evangelical gay Christian, a guy named Mel White, proposes a theory in the book he wrote some time ago called Stranger at the Gate, to be gay and Christian in America. Now, Mel White suggests that with the fall of communism in the late 80s and early 90s, TV evangelists needed a new enemy to stir people up in order to keep the financial donations coming in. And this, again, is a common fascist tactic. If you want to stir up like-minded people, and of course, the TV guys needed to get people to keep giving them money, you need to create and then threaten them with the evils of a common enemy. With the threat of communism in those days past, Mel said that some of these guys, they needed some other issue to stir people up enough to keep shelling out their dough, and the queer community was handy. Maybe? Yeah, maybe so. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
Since 1932, Camp Seneca, nestled on the beautiful shores of Lake Wenatchee, has provided children grades 1 through 12 with the ideal location for kids to learn new skills, have fun, and make friends while creating memories that will last a lifetime. Camp Seneca's rustic log cabins and their staff serve to provide each group a unique summer camp experience. Register for Camp Seneca today, www.campfirencw.org.
Thanks to Les Schwab Tires, I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, deep breaths and watch your speed. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So it's right here.
Roll into summer. Save up to $200 instantly on a wide selection of tires and wheels. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
Oh, look at this.
This would look really good in the kitchen.
Or the living room. Just look at it.
New windows are a work of art. Upgrade your home's windows and get cash back from Chelan County PUD.
This is gonna look great in the house.
It's summertime, the living is easy, the fish are jumping, the cotton is high, daddy's rich, mama's good looking. And speaking of good looking, Bonnie Orr is back with her 4 times a year visit with us on equinoxes and solstices. The summer solstice Thursday at 1:50 in the afternoon, which is kind of a strange phenomenon, but that's it. That'll be the longest day of the year. And the next day, Friday the 21st, 2 seconds shorter.
I actually did the math. 2 seconds.
And then we're moving into the dark again.
Then we all get depressed because I guess the days get shorter. Bonnie Orr joins me. We always start out our summertime preview of the do's and don'ts and everything you need to know about summertime gardening, lawn care, shrubs, all that stuff with a little recap of spring 2024. I got the numbers right here. April, near normal temperatures, below normal precipitation. May, about normal temperatures, below normal precipitation. Not a big bunch of dramatic changes as far as the temperature was concerned, but we are in a drought. I mean, I got it right here. Normally this time of the year we should have 4.18 inches of rain from January 1st on. We have 3.0, so we're over an inch, almost an inch and a quarter below where we should be.
And it was a dry winter. I mean, it's really pretty interesting.
This has been a long-standing concern of yours. This is not the first time we've talked about this.
No, and you know the thing is that because it was so dry in the winter and cold, not abnormally cold, but cold and dry, the winter kill on so many plants was pretty amazing. Roses really took it. Roses, hydrangeas, Russian sage, which is really an interesting one, and of course there's not an apricot in the valley, and very few peaches.
Yeah. Why are we finding out about this now? I mean, it's pretty late in the year to say, oh, I got winter kill. Wouldn't this be something that would show up in the middle of May?
Yes. But people have had to. What I'm saying is that people have had to deal with it.
Okay.
And so that's been a different kind of questions that people have been asking. And so those.
How do you know you have winter kill on your roses, among other things?
Dead stakes.
That's as simple as that.
I mean, dead branches on all sorts of things. Yeah.
So it's particularly bad here in that case.
Yes. Yeah. On those particular species.
Anything you can do about it?
No. I mean, can you do anything about the weather?
That's true. No, you can't.
No, you can't do anything about the weather.
The other thing, and this has not been an anomaly, it's been windy. It's been either breezy or downright windy. We've had gusts over 50 miles an hour on a number of occasions this spring. Well, how does that affect your yard and your garden and your landscape?
Well, you know, I've been thinking, I think it was 4 years ago that from April 3rd to August 3rd, we had wind every single day. Not necessarily gusts, but wind every single day. And is drying. I've been watching people try to water their lawns. That's a hopeless thing. Yeah. You know, trying to find a time when you can run. If you have your water on automatic timing, that's a waste of water, and it's not helping the plants any. And also, it is drying. And anything that has broad leaves is being desiccated. Well, actually, my water feature, all the water has blown out 3 times. I'm not kidding you.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, because, you know, it's bubbling up and it just blows away instead of going back down.
Is the pump okay? I mean,
I mean, it hurts.
You think it would burn the pump out?
I know. In fact, when it's gotten really windy, I unplugged it.
So you think this is going to carry over to summertime? We may have some yard care issues because of this?
Can I predict the weather?
Well, let me run this by you then. I told you about this a couple of years ago. I thatched my yard.
Yeah.
And the yard had just a great year. It was just happy.
Yeah.
Oh, it was beautiful. And you said you only have to do the thatch depending on how many trees you have and things like that.
And how you fertilize.
And I don't really fertilize much at all. I just kind of leave that alone. I mean, what's the point when the yard's happy?
Right.
What do I need to fertilize? Don't have any weeds. This year, it's not doing so good.
Well, it's cold, first of all.
Okay.
It was 46 degrees on Saturday night.
Yeah, we almost set a record low.
I mean to tell you, the tomatoes are going, oh my God.
We're going to do this again this year with the tomatoes?
That's okay. We harvest them in September.
Okay.
And here we're at the community education garden, and the dahlias are just sitting there and pouting. You know, the soil is still cold, and the temperatures are cold. So
where are we on? I haven't planted it yet. Is it too late to put this in the ground to eat in September?
No.
Okay. Such as? What kind of vegetables can we put in the ground now that we can enjoy?
I'm going to put carrots and beets in.
Okay.
This week. Yeah.
Okay.
And beans. The soil is finally going to be warm enough for beans. Yeah. Because otherwise the bean seeds just rot.
Beans, a wonderful fruit. The more you eat on other things we have. We are going to get eventually hot. It's been a kind of a cool spring. Eventually we're going to have a stretch of weather, 90, 95 for a week, 10 days perhaps. What do we need to do to prepare for that?
Well, the same thing you should have done to prepare for the wind, mulch.
Okay.
Because the mulch prevents the water from evaporating from the soil, and it also prevents the soil from overheating, which when it overheats the roots aren't happy.
The mulch that you buy in bags at hardware stores, is that just fine, or you just make your own?
The bulbs?
No, mulch. The mulch that you just, the big bags of mulch. And
well,
does that work or not?
Yes.
I mean, the idea is to hold the moisture in, right?
I would buy a bale of straw.
Yeah, that's just
not hay.
The same.
I would buy a bale of straw and grind it up with a lawnmower. And next fall, I would go around and steal all those black bags of leaves that your neighbors put out and store them for the winter.
I wonder what the community education garden does with all of the leaves of these huge trees that do the campus.
I got some of them.
Oh, do you? Coming in the late at night.
And so they know they use them for mulch. Yeah.
How are we doing for pests this year? Some pests have great years.
Aphid. This is the year of the black aphid. I cannot tell you how many people have said things like, how do I get rid of these aphids? And there's huge numbers of them, and they're almost gone. They just came in for a bit. Nature takes care of it. People always go, what do I spray on aphids? And I always say, you can spray water on them, just to lessen the population. But really, there are lacewings, there are ladybugs, there's all sorts of things that eating those, and birds are feeding their chicks with all those aphids. And so when you spray, you've deleted that population.
And the birds need to belly up to the buffet and get a full tummy.
See, and I've had birds in my yard clean off every aphid off my roses. It's just amazing.
And Bonnie's yard, by the way, is like, if I was a bird, I'd live at Bonnie's place.
Yes, because there's water, there's food.
There's tons of food.
Yeah, there's insects.
You have a variety of birds who live there.
122 species so far.
Not that we're counting, of course. It's also been a banner year, if there is such a thing, for slugs. They've been making baby slugs, and there's slugs everywhere.
That's right. And see, I always say in March, you put out the slug bait, and you use the iron phosphate so that it doesn't hurt dogs and cats or birds. And you put it out in March, and the 50 you kill saves you the 500 that would eventually develop.
I associate slugs with moisture. If we're in a drought, how come the slugs are having such a good year?
Well, because people are irrigating like crazy.
Oh, that makes perfect sense.
That makes perfect sense.
We're in a drought, I'm going to water more, here come the slugs.
That's right.
Slugs?
And people who water inappropriately water just to the surface, and so the slugs have to come to the surface.
Okay.
Slugs actually are sometimes 3 feet in the ground. They have tunnels as deep as 3 feet in the ground.
But there are, Bonnie and I were talking about this before we rolled tape. I associate slugs with nothing beneficial to your yard or garden, and I'm wrong. To a certain extent.
To a certain extent. I wouldn't ever say you were wrong, but I would say that they are beneficial to the fact that what would you do with all the leaves on the ground if something wasn't eating them up? What would you do with all of the dead grass stems, from the lawn? So those things are clean. They're cleaning up. Yeah.
Do slugs get a bad name because they're ugly and slimy?
Yeah, and people go, ooh, yeah.
Like me.
But the university I went to, the banana slugs is the mascot.
Mildew on roses. You want to make a specific point on this.
Yeah, and this week it's going to go away.
Okay.
By the end of the week, it will be gone, because when it gets to be 90 degrees. And again, spraying a fungicide is hard on bees and other types of things. So spraying isn't going to
Does significant temperature variations put a lot of stress on certain plants? Say it's 75 today, and in 2 days it's going to be 92. Is that are plants adaptable to that?
Well, see,
okay.
Yeah, they are, but the thing is, you need to get that water profile down. And so for your flower beds and things like that, your water profile should be probably 12 inches. Yeah.
Okay.
And also for trees, 90% of the roots are in the top 12 inches. But if you're only watering, the awful 10 minutes, 2 times a day or 4 times a day or whatever, your water profile is going to be only 2 inches.
One of the best tips you gave me was the old tuna fish can routine, and it works.
And you know what? Okay, so here at the Community Education Garden, we have special days on the 3rd Saturday of each month, and July's 3rd Saturday of the month is going to be about lawns.
Okay.
And I'm going to be talking about alternative lawns, and Sarah is going to be talking about setting up lawns. We're going to talk about lawn weeds. The whole thing is going to be about lawns.
Is switching over to clovers, was that a fad, or
No.
is that going to be a permanent thing?
I'm hoping it's a permanent thing. 30% less water, no weeds. No, you don't have to use any herbicide, you know?
What? I mean, that's a win-win-win.
Win-win-win.
No herbicides. You don't have to water as much.
And you don't
You
fertilize
don't
it.
get weeds. You don't fertilize it.
What do you want?
Yeah, and it's kind of pretty. It's kind of
It is.
aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah, yeah.
It really
Yeah.
is.
Provided you don't have an 80-pound dog.
That's true.
Yeah. Okay.
Root rot for shrubs and trees.
If you overwater, okay, the classic is the dogwood.
Yeah.
Okay, somehow or another, we have planted dogwoods in the center of our lawns. Those trees bloom for 3 weeks, and then it's just a tree that looks uglier and uglier and uglier all winter long, all summer long, because they're designed as an understory tree, not a center of the lawn tree. So their edges of their leaves all turn brown and crinkly, and they're really quite unattractive. And so it's the wrong tree in the wrong place. But people think that if they water more, that the leaves will revive.
Which ain't gonna happen. And then all you're doing is killing the roots.
That's right, and you can tell you're doing that because the tops of the trees, there's no leaves, there's just dead sticks at the top.
Okay, that's a good tip.
That's a root rot thing.
That's a very good tip. Very good tip indeed. Boy, I'm learning something already.
Oh, okay.
So we've talked about the vegetables that you can plant now and still enjoy.
Right.
What about this? What about buying seeds? You know, there's an old rule of thumb: you want to buy a swimsuit in February, and your long underwear in July,
You're
because that's when
they come up.
That's the cheap way to do it. What about seeds?
Well, okay, you know something? The stores will be taking the seeds out of the store and to put in other merchandise. So this is the time to buy your seeds. For your winter garden and your fall garden, you know, you plant cilantro in August, not in March, because it bolts because the days are too long. So as the days diminish, cilantro is much happier. Same with spinach. Carrots, beets, peas, spinach, all those wonderful things.
Okay, buy your seeds now, and seeds have a significant shelf life. Well, you told me you've had seeds packets that you've kept for 3 years, and you've wanted them
in the refrigerator. Yeah.
So
yeah. It's more than 3 years.
Let's talk about, we talked about the vegetables that you can grow now and enjoy when the harvest time.
Right.
What about things that you don't eat? Flowers, shrubs, things like that.
So we're at the end of the time for fertilizing, okay? When it gets hot, we aren't going to fertilize lawns, we aren't going to fertilize, perennial things. But annuals, still in pots and stuff. Annuals, all they want to do is bloom and make seeds. So you fertilize them every other week. But otherwise, we're at the end of the time for fertilizing. This is also the last week to prune rhodies. Not that you would have to prune anything, because there were no rhodie blossoms this year, no azalea blossoms. I mean, there was lots of winter kill on those things too.
Besides aphids and slugs that are living things, what kind of plants had a good spring? Because they like it cooler and windy.
I do not know. Yeah, well, my peas are doing okay. My broad beans got hit by aphids, which brought in a disease called Black Death. Ooh, it's a fungal disease. So that was.
Yeah, I don't want to relive the 15th century either, quite frankly. I wasn't there. You talk about the wind, and when you water into your lawn, it's just blowing the water everywhere. It's not getting in.
And it evaporates. Yeah.
Same deal with when you're treating stuff with the spray stuff. I mean, if you're spraying in the windy conditions, you're not doing any good at all, right?
You know what? I have a neighbor who will remain unnamed, who last year it was 90 degrees, and there was a breeze, and he was spraying Roundup. My tomatoes.
Oh no.
I live, 150 feet away from him.
It affected your tomatoes?
Yeah, it affected my tomatoes.
Did you have a neighborly chat with
No, he didn't. He didn't believe it. Oh, that's not possible.
Doesn't he know you're Bonnie Orr? That
No,
you know
he
what the
doesn't.
hell it is you're talking about? What else do we need to touch on while I have you here?
Let me see. Have we touched on
think we got everything. Bonnie always sends me copious notes.
I know it.
And occasionally I read
because
them.
we have to think about all of these things. I think that if you have a lot of pots, they need to be watered every day. They do. And again, a moisture meter, $8 or something, at a store is just perfect because otherwise you don't know how dry things are.
Common sense goes a long way, but if you just can't figure it out, don't forget the Master Gardeners on Washington Street in the bottom of where the Chelan County Commissioners meet in that beautiful white historic brick building. And they have
old
a
Christian
website.
Science Church.
And yeah, there you go. Boy, we're dating ourselves now, aren't we? The bottom line is these guys are experts. If you're going, I don't know what the hell's going on, and they're experts with this climate and this part of the country on what works and what doesn't work.
Wednesday from 1 to 4, okay? And then at any time, you can send us emails, okay? Send pictures, send, pictures of whole plants, not because we'll talk with you about it. And every Thursday, a group of diagnosticians meets, and then you get an answer back. You don't get an answer that same day, okay? Chelan Master Gardeners at gmail.com.
And once again, as Bonnie just mentioned, the next Wingding here, July 30th. It's always the third Saturday, whatever month. 13th, sorry. You'll be talking about lawn care and alternatives to lawns.
Or is it the wrong date? The 20th. The
20th.
Okay.
Whatever the third Saturday in July is.
Whatever the third Saturday in July. I'll be here.
If you can read a calendar, you'll figure out what the third Saturday. So this might be a good time to figure out, especially if maybe you just don't want to care for a lawn anymore.
And the diagnosticians will be here. And so if you have lawn problems, bring in a square foot of your turf. Partly where it's not doing well and partly where it's doing well. And we'll examine it and look for insects and look for disease and look for watering problems and thatch problems, which are the most common things, and then send the sample back.
And keep in mind, some lawns get nothing but sunlight from sunup to sundown, and some never get sunlight because they're, there's maple trees or whatever, and it never gets direct sunlight.
And the root competition with a lawn, the roots from the trees will trump the grass.
Yeah, they'll suck up any last little teaspoon they can.
Yeah.
Bonnie Orr, everybody give her a big hand. Chelan Douglas Master Gardeners at Gmail. You'll type it in, you'll get there. And I guess I'll see you September 22nd around there? I'll see you before then.
Probably.
Yeah, I hope so anyway.
Okay.
Bonnie Orr, everybody, and we will be right back.
Come on, I'm a certified technician. I was trained to take good care of you.
9. I've only been to the dealer.
I've been coming here for years. These guys are great.
Look around. The BMW, the Jag, the Volvo, they're all waiting for regular service. Well, the BMW has a little computer issue, but that's nothing we can't handle. Come on in.
From regular maintenance to computer troubleshooting, trust the Global Car Care technicians with your import, diesel-powered, or domestic vehicle. Global Car Care. They speak your car's language.
Dankeschön.
At Kennedy Group, we understand that buying and selling is more than a transaction, and it's more than just a house. This is where you will gather with friends and family, and where a lifetime of memories will be made. But buying a home is more than memories. Oftentimes, it's your biggest financial decision. The agents at Kennedy Group understand this and provide real estate advice based on your goals and dreams. Call us today, and let's find your happy place.
It's that time of year to get the springtime toys ready. Doghouse Motorsports has everything you need to get the show on the road or the trail. If a new machine is in the plan, Doghouse now has a complete inventory from which to choose. So get ready to ride.
.61 degrees now here in the big city. It was 55 when this show began. And we are in for a beautiful, beautiful last day of spring, first day of summer combined. Again, the summer solstice is at 1:50 this afternoon, and at 1:51 it will be summertime with the longest day of the year from the National Weather Service. One more look at your forecast. How does 85 sound with a nice light wind? Sounds about perfect to me. That's our forecast high today. Clear tonight, 61 for the overnight low. Friday, for the first time all year, we will hit 90 on the first full day of summer. We've gotten to 88 degrees twice so far this spring, but we haven't hit 90, and we'll do it tomorrow. Partly cloudy on Friday night, 64 for the overnight low. We're going to see the clouds and the sun do a little tug-of-war on Saturday, but the sun's going to have the upper hand. It's going to be hot. We'll top off at 92 on Saturday. And then late in the day on Sunday, the wind will be picking up a little bit. There's going to be a dry cold front that's going to roll in. It's going to cool us down, and it will be windy late Sunday afternoon. And that is it for us. Have a great day. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
And making memories. In Italy and the Mediterranean, home to gorgeous waters, ancient ruins, and incredible yachts.
Can you believe some of these boats out here? I mean, they're huge.
Yeah, they're incredible. We'll explore the amazing city of Rome.
It's stunning here.
Yeah.
So pretty.
Oh, and the Pope.
Bye, Pope.
Before we escape to our gorgeous Mediterranean getaway near the coast of Ponza.
Ooh, wow. This is cool.
Then we're off to see Naples and wander through the incredible ruins of Pompeii.
I think we're right there because that's where we just were, right?
Before discovering the islands of Capri and Ortigia.
We are in the Piazza Duomo.
If you've ever wanted to see Italy and some islands in the Mediterranean, now's your chance. Let's do it. There's a little something for everyone.
Look how colorful it is.
Yeah, this whole island is so beautiful.
I know. Wow.
All the buildings are different.